are tuned into Lyfe Uncensored. I'm Skylar Don.
And I'm Sean Reeves.
And it is Tuesday night in the city of Houston, 7-ish p.m. I think it's about 7:01 maybe. And this is our first Lyfe Uncensored with me and Sean. I hope Dallas is having a good time in Costa Rica. That's where she is this week.
Oh, I'm low-key jealous. No, I'm big jealous.
Big jealous.
Have a great time, Dallas.
Yes,
You
have fun,
definitely miss your
enjoy
presence.
your family. Definitely.
Yeah.
So, Lyfe Uncensored, you ready, Sean?
I am ready.
You ready to embark on this journey?
Let's do it.
So, how was your week?
You know what? My week, it's been a little iffy. I'm getting over a cold. So summer colds are the worst, but I've bounced back, and I'm here now, and I'm ready to dive right into Lyfe Uncensored.
Yay! Oh, and this week is going to be a
Doozy.
doozy. We are going to have some fun this week.
Yeah, we are. I'm excited about it.
I think we've already made Nina blush maybe like 10 times today. And we haven't even started the show. We just got started. So, poor Nina. Poor Nina has to work with us right after she graduated.
You know, it'll be one for the books, Nina.
Yeah. So I had I had a pretty good week. I had this weekend, Friday night I went to a listening party, and I went to an event in the community. They're working on doing, maybe curbing some of the gang violence, and they had an event. A rapper here in Houston, Cal Wayne, did he supported it. He didn't do it. It was somebody else that did it, but guns down, gloves up event.
Okay. What type of gloves?
And boxing gloves.
Okay, that's
boxing
cool.
gloves. Yeah. So yeah.
So
I'm
redirect
sure
that
this
energy.
is not how you box, but they didn't ask me to actually do it. But I showed up in support. That was kind of a cool thing, I think.
Yeah, that's super cool. And boxing is a great sport.
Yeah, and I think they do that in a lot of cities. So that was cool to see it going on in Third Ward. And then a listening party on Friday night. Did some pool stuff on Saturday, and then Sunday I went to on Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
Yeah, happy belated Father's Day.
Yes, there was a Malia Davis Father's Day event in a Lyfe. Shout out to Capo. He put that together for Father's Day, and it was pouring down rain, but we still had a huge turnout for it to be raining. And
everyone loved that little girl so much.
Well, yeah, and just I put this on one of the discussion groups that we're in. It's like a community thing. It's like, and for lack of a better way of comparing it, like when a major hurricane happens, or when there's a major tragedy that happens that brings the community together real quick.
Right.
Just really, because that happened real quick. Everyone came together, and when something like that happens, it really, because even though people didn't know Malia or her family, when you have something like that brings everyone together real quick, and really everyone did think at first that she was kidnapped, and then everyone was trying to find her, and so it really was something as a community effort to bring people together. So it's really nice to watch the community still stay together.
Right, and come together, and it shows that deep down at our core, people are decent.
Yes, there are good people out there. There are good people, and there's an organization, Parents Against Predators, and she was out there and doing stuff with Capo, and they've been out there each time, and it was good. They had stuff for the kids, and it was just a nice community event. So yeah, so pretty good.
That's
good
cool.
Week.
Hopefully I won't call too much.
We need you to get better. We're going to kick you out.
Ugh. It's right here in my chest.
That's not
It's
good.
just, no, and it's so hard. So I've been dying this week. It's been really killing me. This is the second time that I've been out of the house now in a week.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just impressed that you haven't been sick more this year, because typically you get sick a lot.
The bronchitis.
So you haven't been sick that much.
With the asthma, no, but this is Yeah, I did pretty good this year.
Yeah, you have.
Like the whole year, it's been great, and then boom.
I think it's because we went to Cancun. I think we need to go on another.
You think that's good? I'm okay with that.
I think we need to go on another trip.
We can do Cancun.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think so.
Not the DR.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
we will get into that. We definitely
But not
will.
Cancun. Yeah, but definitely Cancun. Let's do Cancun again.
I think we should.
I'm always down for Cancun.
So, you guys are tuned into Lyfe Uncensored. I'm Skylar Dawn.
I'm Sean Reeves.
And let's just delve in. You ready for
All
the
right,
news?
let's do it.
And we will just start out with the DR.
All right.
Dominican Republic. So, this is something serious. Okay, so I've always said the Dominican Republic is my happy place. You know that, right?
I do.
Anyone who knows me very well at all knows the Dominican Republic has always been my happy place. I love it there. I love the people there.
It's a great place. I spent a month in the Dominican Republic a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I
had a wonderful time.
love. I have several friends from the Dominican Republic that I've made everywhere I go. I make friends. I make friends everywhere I go. But I have friends there that I just adore. But this is serious right now.
It is.
Whatever's going on there.
You know, I am the type to where I don't think anything is a coincidence. You know, we have a total of 13 dead now in the Dominican Republic?
And there's six or seven high school kids from Oklahoma right now in the hospital.
And are they gravely ill?
They said that they're pretty ill, and they were staying at the Hard Rock. So this is from several different hotels too. It's not just from one hotel.
But one thing that they do have in common is that they are staying at resorts.
Yes, they're staying at resorts. So, they were saying that maybe that whoever the liquor supplier is, that maybe they're getting tainted liquor.
It's possible.
To the resorts.
There has to be. I don't think it's a coincidence. There have been entirely too many deaths associated with the Dominican Republic
right now. And they're all like edema, like heart attacks.
Right. And pulmonary edema, there's fluid in the lungs.
Okay, well they're saying it's heart. Like they're saying that it's heart attacks. They're all being blamed heart attacks.
And the edema with the fluid.
Yeah. So it's heart attacks.
Is that postmortem edema or just what? But there has to be a correlation someplace. And then, I really feel the authorities should look for the commonality there. But the Prime Minister of the Dominican Republic actually did an interview, and he's stating that it is unrelated. And his argument is that there are over 6 million tourists who visit the Dominican Republic every single year, and there's only a small number of deaths. Okay, yeah, there's only 13 in comparison to 6 million, but that's 13 too many.
But these are all
within a small time frame too.
Yes, this has all been just recently.
So, what's the correlation there?
Yeah, it's all been just recently.
But there's a saying, I'm not religious at all, but there's that saying that God protects babies and fools. I'm no baby, and we were trying to go to the Dominican Republic instead of our Cancun trip.
Yeah.
If those plane tickets had been just a little bit cheaper, a little bit,
we would have been
in DR.
Yeah, we would have been.
And maybe on the news. So, it's a good thing that we didn't go. And my
condolences
goes out to those people.
But I don't drink alcohol, and you don't drink much.
I drink enough.
Yeah, that's true.
I drink enough.
That's true.
So maybe it would have just been me.
Mm.
Gosh, it's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I think,
just be safe. Don't drink when you go over.
Well, and that's the thing.
But we're assuming it's the liquor. What if it's not the liquor? What if it's the food?
Yeah, we just don't know right now. And I think I don't know. I think people just need to really be smart. My sister and my cousins are supposed to go in August, and it makes me very weary for them, because although I'm not a fearful person, because I do have a strong belief in God, and I believe everything happens for a reason, and I have a strong faith. But I also believe that He reveals things for a reason, and I believe that He gives you free will.
He's revealing to us that maybe we should abstain from the Dominican Republic for a little while.
Well, and I believe He gives you free will. So if you choose to do something after He gives you the information, then you're not exactly that brilliant. So,
me personally, right now, it's not a place that's on my travel list.
Yeah.
At all. Not at the moment.
Well, and I don't think that it's as a whole the country doing it, but if there's someone who maybe maybe they've targeted us or targeted tourists, maybe they have
I'm a conspiracy theorist. Maybe it's a serial killer.
Yeah, I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
I am.
But if someone is upset with our president, if they're upset with our ways, if they're upset with the way that we've treated them, if they're upset with their government, if they're upset
that's
with
a conspiracy
something,
theory.
Yeah, if they're upset with something, there's some reason that this is happening, because this is not the norm.
No.
This is not the norm with the DR.
But then another speculation, and it's all it is, a speculation that it's some type of common pesticide that they use. And it affects certain people a certain way, like it's toxic to the people that they've encountered.
Is there a new pesticide they're using? Because this is not norm. This is not the norm. People don't normally go and stay in resorts in the DR and end up dead
in their hotel room
at 40 or 30 or 50.
Or just random ages of people too, because some have been young.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
With no heart problems, with no health issues, and then they're just dead. So please use common sense. It's just, no vacation is really that important at this point. So just use common sense. Don't give up on the DR. I love the people there. I love them. They're amazing people. So I know that it has nothing to do with the people in general, but
there is someone or something responsible for these deaths.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
That's just common sense.
Yeah, I know that it's not their country as a whole, because they have some of the most amazing people there, but something is going on, and so we need to be careful. Yes. So here in Houston, Jose Flores, he is can you play silence here, phone?
Typically it is. Like it's on vibrate. That's my mom.
Tell your mommy that you're on a show right now.
She knows it's like my first day is like really co-hosting with you. So she like,
this is the first day of kindergarten.
Yes, typical mom stuff. Mom, stop it, please.
So
you're embarrassing me. God.
Jose Flores, back to Lyfe Uncensored. His killer. Okay, so anyone who's not in Houston, or who may not know this, but I think most people in Houston would know, Jose Flores was a little boy who was walking home from school. I think he was like 11, maybe. He was walking home from school. He was brutally murdered. He was stabbed 20 times and left dead on the sidewalk. And we did not find his killer. That was 3 years ago. Well, his killer was arrested.
Good. And they had arrested him once before, but didn't have enough evidence to tie him to the case.
And they let him go.
Yes.
Yes, 2 years ago. And they let him go. So
I can't even wrap my mind around what would make a person do that.
No, 20 times stabbing a little boy.
And we're not going to say his name.
No.
Because he doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve the recognition. He's insignificant. The person that does matter in this case is Jose Flores. And what happened to him was tragic. It was undeserved. And it's a horrible thing. And I hope that God gets...
And prayers for his mother. I saw his mother crying on the news. So we are just so elated that his mother will get justice.
Yes.
So 3 years later, DNA is what caught his murderer.
The power of science.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. So drownings. We are now, the CDC has issued a warning. We are here in Harris County. We are number one in the nation for drownings. Well, that's something to be number one for.
Of all the things.
We are right by Galveston. We're by the ocean, people.
We talked about this one time before. Knowing how to swim, teaching your children how to swim. But more importantly, focusing on your children while they're in the water.
Lifeguards are saying that there is a direct correlation
between parents doing this.
Parents being on their phone.
Yeah, when they should be watching
and their children drowning. Come on, you guys.
Yeah.
There is something wrong. You guys need to put your damn phones down.
Disconnect, unplug, focus on your kids.
This is just.
But I don't even like to when I'm over with the boys and we can see them from the pool, I don't even like to run into the house for anything or like to turn my back or anything while they're in the pool. My whole attitude is, you know what, if I need to go in the house or something, get out of the water. Sit on the side.
Yeah,
do something because it's not worth the risk.
No, I mean, seriously, if I could not even imagine my kid drowning because I'm taking a selfie or I'm Facebook friend requesting somebody.
Or, LOLing on someone's stupid comment, whatever. Pay attention to your children.
Yes.
Teach them to swim. Pay attention to them in the water.
Make sure you can swim.
The water is beautiful and majestic.
Fun. It's hot here.
But it's also deadly.
Yes, it is. It's serious. 22-year-old shooter in Dallas.
That was insane.
Well, it's insane, but at the same time, I think we're getting a little more savvy on these shooters.
I think in this case, well, no one knew he was there. I just think it was a situation where he was confronted in the proper amount of time. The police were nearby. They were called. They responded promptly.
It was a federal courthouse.
And de-escalated the situation.
He had 5.30 round. What was it? 5.30 round magazines
and a high-powered rifle. He went there with the intent to kill.
A lot of people.
But he released a volley of gunfire onto the federal building before he retreated and was shot dead.
Oh my goodness.
So it wasn't like he didn't get off a single shot. He got off multiple shots. And thankfully no one was injured. That alone in itself is for lack of a better word, miraculous.
Yeah.
I mean, it really does defy the laws of science that, he could release that much gunfire and not hit a single person. You don't even have to really be able to aim. You just, point and spray. And he hit not one person. So, but, kudos to the police officers who responded and took him out.
Yeah. I mean, he was the only injured, and he's dead.
Yeah.
But there was no injuries out of all that.
And then the heroicism of the photojournalist who actually took that picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he was directly in the line of fire, and he got the story first, got the image first.
So he was a 22-year-old. He had graduated from junior college. He had been in the military. I mean, crazy.
It makes you wonder though, what would drive a person to do that? Is it mental illness or?
Well, okay, so this is totally off of, we didn't prepare for this, but so I was talking with a client today. She is a healthcare worker, and we were talking about this, and it's mental illness. When I was younger, and I don't even mean a kid, but younger, mental illness wasn't such a prevalent thing. Mental illness, now it's it seems like everybody is mentally ill.
And I think mental illness has always been prevalent, but it wasn't as widely talked about as it is now.
We didn't have, when I was 20, every place wasn't getting shot up.
It's a different mindset of people now, period. And then I think people have more access to guns.
It's nuts. I mean, I wasn't having to worry about going into Costco and getting shot. There was just a Costco shot up.
Yeah, but I
wasn't having to worry about, of course,
mass shootings. Always.
Well, not always, but Columbine started when I was in high school.
Yeah, and I mean, are they more frequent? Yes, they are. But I mean, they've never not been. And I think mental illness is the play behind all of them. Unless you have a person who's just completely and totally evil and wants to experience a real life video game. And maybe that's what it is.
Video games.
Maybe that's what it is. That people play these first person real life shooter games, and then you get to a point to where the virtual reality is no longer enough for you, and you want to experience that carnage in real life.
Yeah, because I've never said to myself, I think I just want to go shoot somebody. I mean, I can't imagine just... Nina, have you ever wanted to go shoot somebody?
Absolutely not.
No, so I don't think, I think mental illness has always been an issue, but then too, maybe there is a correlation between,
I mean,
you know,
sometimes
video
I'm
games
crazy.
and a person wanting to go commit a mass shooting.
Sometimes I'm like, I mean, have you been in my closet? It's upside down. But I've never wanted to
You just
shoot
got too
somebody
much
over.
stuff in your closet. You have a shopping addiction.
Don't say that too loud. There might be somebody on here that I like.
I mean, you're gonna release a volley of credit cards.
Is that my superpower or my
That is a superpower.
Oh, God.
If you have a pair of shoes that cost $9.99, and I mean $999, case in point, okay? And they're 10% off, how much is your savings?
Oh, do these get 10% off?
They never go on sale.
I was going to say.
They never go on sale.
Send me to that store. Give me your hookup. You are tuned into Lyfe Uncensored. I am Skyla Dawn.
And I'm Sean Reeves.
And this is how it's going to be whenever she's on here.
Well, I guess that's every week then.
Yeah. So the next segment we have is hashtag WTH. So on hashtag WTH, we always have anything that we are just like, what the hell were they thinking?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
And we only say what the hell because we're
Can't
trying
say
not to say what the
WTF.
fuck.
We were trying not to,
We're trying not to.
but Skyla just did.
So, here in Houston.
This is nuts. Okay.
Okay, I don't know which. It's not laughable. It's not. It is. It's not.
It is, but it isn't.
It's not.
It's not. It's not.
It's someone's
it's not.
life. Oh, what, did he die?
I don't know.
That's a meme. Did you die?
Where did he die though?
I don't know. Nina, can you see if he died? Can you look it up?
Yeah.
So a masked guy. Now the news report actually says he rolled up. He was in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
So that part is like, I mean, right there is laughable. But so a masked guy in a wheelchair came upon, I have to say it that way, a man at 24 Hour Fitness here in Houston and shot him
In front of his daughter.
in front of his daughter and then like wheeled off.
Rolled off.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, to me, that sounds
Hashtag
like
WTH.
that sounds like a hit. It really does.
If you're gonna hire someone to hit somebody, like, wouldn't you hire somebody not in a wheelchair?
I mean, look, just because he's not in a wheelchair does not mean he's not effective. He effectively shot this guy and got away.
Well, he got away, but someone followed him. They followed him home, called the police, followed him. The police came, and he was found with the gun and the mask.
Who knows?
And he has a rap sheet.
You know, it
So
could be.
guess what? He's arrested.
It's an awfully
So he's caught.
bold. It's an awfully bold crime to commit. Obviously,
Well, I mean, that's a coward to me. That's
to
bold.
in broad daylight, to come upon somebody in broad daylight and shoot them in broad daylight, that's bold. Most people commit crimes under the cover of darkness.
Okay, he didn't die.
They want to be concealed. They want to get away. That's why he wore the mask. He didn't want to be identified.
He's in a wheelchair.
That bystander just happened to follow him home. But with him having a lengthy rap sheet, another thing that I'm thinking is
That'd be
What
like
if
me.
he's like-
That would be like
he could
me
be a person.
wearing this dress with my hair curly and going into like somewhere to
the
shoot
altar and
somebody.
shooting up the place.
Yes, like I would pretty much get caught.
Maybe. Maybe not. People commit murders every day in Chicago and they go unsolved. But with this guy right now,
if you put a picture of me on the news with a mask, with my curly hair, wearing a dress like this, I guarantee you somebody in Houston would identify me.
they'd be like Instagram chick shoots up place.
They would be like, Isn't that Skylar? Why is she shooting?
No, they would say, no, that's not Skylar. Skylar would never do anything like that. That's not her. They're like, that's some Creole chick. It's not Skylar. I don't know, but with this guy's rap sheet, he had a lengthy rap sheet. I mean, he's obviously a career criminal. So you would think by this point he would know how to evade arrest.
I mean, he keeps getting caught, so he's not that smart.
Well, criminals are stupid.
Oh my God.
They aren't the brightest.
Hashtag WTH.
I don't know, maybe he wanted to go back to jail.
That poor little girl. That poor
Why
little
would someone
girl.
do that? It's totally weird to me. And I'm trying to sit over here and rationalize it.
You are trying to rationalize it.
Like, why?
And it's so stupid.
Maybe he's an institutionalized type. Have you ever heard a person who they commit a bold, obvious crime to get sent back to jail because they can't function being in the real world? They can't function being out amongst the population. They're institutionalized to where they have to be in jail. That's the only way they can function. That's their sense of security.
Sounds like you watch too many movies.
No, it's a thing. It's called being institutionalized. People who've served a lot of time in prison, that's all they know how to do, is be an inmate. It's a real thing. Nina? Mm-hmm. It is, right?
Sure. Nina! Nina, could you please get in between us tonight?
But no, it's a thing. So maybe that's why it's a bold move. You're thinking he's wearing the mask because he doesn't want to be caught, but then maybe he did want to be caught. It makes no sense.
I mean, rolling up in your wheelchair to shoot somebody is kind of like...
And then why that person?
That's like having a personalized license plate and committing a crime.
It might have been a hit.
Hashtag WTH.
Moving on.
So, a man brings his emotional support snake.
It was not an emotional support snake. Okay, so this guy from Florida, because everything happens in Florida, boards a plane to Hawaii. But he didn't realize that in his backpack he had a stowaway. And that stowaway was a black racer snake. And he didn't actually discover it until he got all the way to Hawaii, checked into his Airbnb, went to open his bag, and then this snake comes slithering out.
He's in Maui, and a snake comes out of his
backpack. Look, I was in Florida. I wanted to get out of Florida. I came to Texas. That snake could not afford a plane ticket. He had to get out of state.
Okay, but not only this, but then he calls the people that he's staying at the Airbnb and tells them that he brought a snake accidentally with him. Just kill the damn snake. Because in Maui,
in Hawaii, yes,
it is illegal to bring animals, reptiles, anything illegally over.
Knowingly. Yeah.
Yes, but it's up to $200,000 fine and 3 years imprisonment.
But he didn't know that when he called. Like, the last thing that I would do if I open my backpack and a snake comes slithering out my backpack is say, you know what, let me Google the laws in the country that I am to determine whether or not the snake can actually be here.
I would just kill it.
He was probably afraid. Like, how did he know? I don't know. Like, if it were me and I'm at the Airbnb and I see a snake, like, in it, I would probably call the owner too and say, hey, there's a snake in your place. I'm not about to kill it.
I would just kill it.
And with what?
Shovel?
Where is he going to get a shovel from?
The Airbnb?
We're assuming the Airbnb had a shovel. I've never stayed at an Airbnb with a shovel. A couple of knives in the kitchen, but then you got to get extra close.
But let it go.
Could you imagine if that snake had come out on the plane? That'd have literally been snakes on a plane.
That would be crazy.
That would freak me out.
That would have been really crazy.
I'd be like, where's Samuel L. Jackson when I need him?
But I think that would have been crazy, because then what do you say? Like, if they came on and they were like, you cannot have a snake on the plane, that's against the law. I'd be like, it's my emotional support snake.
Yes, Slither. Come here, guy. Come back.
This is Juju.
Yeah. Come to mommy. Curl up on my wrist. Yeah, no. But how did TSA miss it?
I don't.
How?
I've taken a lot of stuff they've missed. So
I mean, they see
not
it?
really.
Okay, this is the thing.
Elliot, if you're watching, not really.
When you go through TSA and you lay your backpack on the conveyor belt and it's X-rayed, I am certain
They catch everything you have in your
Yes,
backpack.
I always get. Listen,
they always. Get
I went through TSA.
They don't ever get my stuff.
Look, you're gonna see the snake in there. You're gonna see the vertebrae of the snake. You're gonna see him curled up in there. What did they think that was? What did they think it was? Was it like completely?
Most support animal?
I don't know. Like, listen, I went to TSA with a bag of sex toys, and they stopped me and opened up and looked at every single thing. None of this dangerous.
That was for shits and grins.
That's all that was. That's it.
Fun.
But if they're gonna stop me behind a dildo, come on, they're gonna let a snake go through? Really?
Well, maybe they thought it was a sex toy and they didn't want to touch it.
I would think that would be cause for opening the bag more so than anything else. But I've been able to go through TSA with like things that I shouldn't either. Like I went through with mace one time in my purse. And I totally forgot it was in there. But no, they let me go through. They did not catch that.
Yeah, so, I mean, we're kidding if anyone on here is TSA.
Do your job better. You almost caused a national security incident.
With a snake.
With a snake on a plane.
That wasn't venomous.
Real life. Could you imagine the mass hysteria?
That would have been real hysteria.
I mean, nuts. Like, I freak out. Like, there's this one YouTube video I saw where this guy had a snake in his car, and it had like curled up by his feet, and he was just like calmly driving home because he didn't want to make any sudden movements because he thought he might get bitten. I can't imagine like being on a plane next to someone and a snake just comes slithering out of the backpack.
I don't want to be on a snake. I don't want to be on a plane where anyone has any kind of animals. So if they bring out a snake, I don't know. Snakes don't really bother me.
No, no.
But if it came up on me.
But here's the thing: a person with their pet snake, if the pet snake comes out of the bag, right? They're gonna be like, "Oh, don't worry, this is just Salazar, whatever the snake's name is. Don't worry about it. This is my pet snake, Salazar." They're gonna probably put their hand out. The snake's gonna crawl up there, curl on it, or whatever. But a person who doesn't know that they have a snake in their backpack, when that snake comes out their backpack, they're gonna freak out, which is gonna cause a chain reaction. Because if I'm sitting next to him, I'm freaking out. You're freaking out. Everybody's freaking out around us because of this one. What was it? 6-inch snake?
I don't know. No, it was bigger than 6 inches.
Was it?
Yeah, it was
They
big.
broke up to 6 feet.
Yeah,
but
but
it was like
big. You showed me the picture.
Anyways,
hashtag WTH. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. We're over here freaking out over nothing, but it still ended up in Maui. Okay, this one is kind of funny. Now, I don't drink, so I couldn't see like the whole thing happening to me, but a little bit of this I could see happening to me. So hashtag WTH. A woman is arrested for public intoxication. Okay, so I wouldn't be arrested for public intoxication, but I can see the next part happening to me.
Okay, so this woman, she's driving down the street. She's driving in a truck, and she's intoxicated. Like, she's drunk. But the reason why she did not get a DUI is because it was a Power Wheels truck.
Power Wheels. I can see me driving a Power Wheels.
Yeah.
Down the street.
Little pink Barbie Jeep.
Yes.
Yeah.
We talked about this last week with Dallas. They have this really cute. The only reason I didn't buy it is because it was so expensive. They have a Barbie. It's a carriage. It's a princess carriage. It's so cute, but it's like $500. I was like, I'm not spending $500 on it. But it's super cute.
That's why you need to like get it for your grandkids, your granddaughters.
Yes.
Like when I was growing up, like one of the things that I always wanted as a kid was an easy bake oven and a Barbie Jeep. And I never got either. So when I was about maybe 28, 29, somewhere in there.
You got a Barbie Jeep?
No, for Christmas one year, my brother actually got me an easy bake oven.
Oh,
isn't that
that's
sweet?
That is sweet.
So he got me the easy bake oven that I never had as a little girl. And then years later, his daughter, my niece, for her, I want to say it was for her 3rd birthday. I got her the Barbie Jeep.
So you could play with it?
Yes, I could play with it so that I could see her, ride up and down the street with it so that they could send me pictures and videos so that I got to live vicariously through her. So maybe the drunk chick never had a Power Wheels when she was growing up as a kid.
And
she was
just
drinking,
wanted to play with it.
Reminiscing, had a little too much and
on
wanted
the
to go for a
sidewalk.
ride.
Just keep it on the sidewalk.
Yeah. And they don't go very fast at all.
No, but the new ones do go kind of fast.
I don't think they go above, maybe 3 miles per hour?
No, they go faster than that. Like this carriage, this carriage one, it went pretty fast. Like I was watching this little kid in it, and I was like, dang.
I know, she was ripping up and down the street.
Yeah.
I know,
I was
but it's
like, that would be fun.
They're so cute in their little Power Wheels. The boys got them for Christmas one year. They got the John Deere tractor trailer ones. They were super cute.
See, we could have races in them.
I know.
That would be so fun.
They need to make them, though, for bigger kids. What do they have for bigger kids that are Power Wheels? Are they like little doom buggies or
They're
something?
called go-karts.
Is it? Yeah, I guess.
Let's go ride in go-kart.
We should do that.
Let's do it. We're on a show right now.
Okay.
Hey, you guys are shooting Lyfe Uncensored. I'm Skylar Dawn.
I'm Sean Reeves.
And we are not ADD. It is now time for Lyfe 101. That is a relationship topic. So tonight I actually did something that I never do. I posted it pre-show so that you guys could kind of see what our topic was ahead of time. I did get a couple of responses, which I was a little bit shocked on.
Really?
I really was. I got a couple of responses that shocked me a little bit. The guys were a little more emotional than I thought.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Well, let's get into the topic. Let the viewers know what the topic is.
Topic is sex make or break for a relationship? And / can disappointing sex end relationships? Okay?
All right.
So, and the reason I say / because it's kind of a two-parter.
Right.
Okay? So, if you're in a newer relationship, can disappointing sex end it?
End it. Can it keep it from progressing?
Yes. And then if you're in a relationship that's a little bit longer, can sex make or break it? If you've been in a relationship for a longer time, if the sex isn't going how you
wanted or
expected to go, can that, if the sex is really good, can it keep the relationship even if the communication and all is not there? Or if it's not going how you want it, even with the communication, can it break the relationship?
Okay.
Okay?
I think we should take the first part first, a new relationship.
Okay, new relationship. Can disappointing sex end a relationship?
I think so.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is because it can end a relationship to where, let's face it, most people don't wait until they're married to have sex anymore.
Okay.
They have sex, early on. I think disappointing sex can definitely end a relationship. And when I say disappointing, I mean sex to where after you've talked to the person about what your needs and expectations are, and you guys aren't seeing eye to eye on them, and they aren't making any type of effort to, meet your needs or suit those needs, that's not going to get any better the longer you stay in a relationship. And if it's unfulfilling, why even progress with that person? So I think it could definitely end a relationship.
Okay.
But and great sex will keep you in a relationship a hell of a lot longer than what you should be.
That is true.
So great sex can keep you there. Disappointing sex can also make you walk out the door a lot sooner.
Okay,
Absolutely.
So one of my followers said that they don't believe that it's a deal breaker. They think that it's a teachable moment, we have to take part in our own orgasms. Talk to your partner and tell them what you want. Otherwise, the bad sex is on you. You're responsible for it.
And see, when you talk to that person and you tell them and they make no attempts to change or be interested, or, you know, I mean, what if you're a guy who's with a woman and all she does is starfish? You know what that is, right? Like a woman who's starfish, she just lays there and takes it. She doesn't do anything, and it's kind of like she's performing a chore. That's it. How could that be enjoyable for a guy? Is he so out of tune, or is he so, as this person says, you're responsible for your own orgasm? Is that your whole goal in sex, just to get an orgasm? If your whole goal is an orgasm, I mean, hell, you can orgasm with a woman who just starfishes. And the same goes for a woman with a guy if he doesn't do anything except just lay back and you have to do all the work. You know, sex is a shared activity, a mutual enjoyable activity that both people should want to fully participate in.
But are you talking about making love or having sex?
Having sex, just even great sex. I'm talking like, you know, just raw, primal sex. It has to be good in order for the relationship to progress. At least for me personally. Because I'm with a guy, if I throw it, he better catch it. Period.
Okay, so someone else said that sex is somewhat important, but if there's not an emotional connection for them, then sex doesn't even matter in a relationship.
Well, I mean, you have to have both. But what if you do have emotional connection and the sex isn't good? I really feel like good sex is the glue that holds a relationship together. Period. And when you're, like I said, when you're with a person, it can't become a chore. It can't just be something that you do to pacify the other person. You know, sex is natural, it's normal, it's meant to be enjoyed by both people. Period. And if it's not enjoyable, if I'm not satisfied, and if I've talked to my partner and I've told them the things that I like and the things that I enjoy, and I'm making an effort to do all the things that he likes and he enjoys, and I'm not getting that in return, then no.
Okay. So now that I've heard what you say, what I'm gonna add to this situation is maybe some suggestions on some things that people can do to communicate some of these things, because I hear you talking a lot about how important sex is, and you say how people need to tell their partner what they want and tell their partner what they need, but they're not, a lot of times I think people don't even necessarily know what they want or what they need. They just know there's something lacking. So a lot of times I think you need to do the research for yourself even. Because like as women, we don't always know why we can't orgasm or why we aren't getting what we need. We just know we're not getting it. It's not there. So women need to, a lot of times, take the initiative to learn our bodies.
And I know my body very well.
Yes. But a lot of women do not. So women need to take that initiative to learn their bodies and learn why they're feeling the way they're feeling, and not just put it all on the man. And men need to take the time to learn the woman's body and not just expect her to want the same thing as the last person.
But that's where communication comes in.
Yes. Well, yeah, but it's not always so comfortable.
And then too, it's a learning curve. You have to learn the other person. And I'm not talking about bad sex or mediocre sex like the first couple of times. I think we're talking about a consistent pattern of mediocre, disappointing sex throughout the course of the relationship. Whether that be like the first 3 months, 6 months, or even the first year. I think what happens is that people get frustrated. And, you know, it could very well end up being a deal breaker. Like we said, you know, we stay in relationships where the sex is great a lot longer than what we should.
Yes.
You know, there's a scripture that says love covers a multitude of sins, right? good dick covers a multitude of sins. It will have you putting up with a whole lot of crap, a whole lot, because you connect so well physically, and then too, when you have that emotional connection.
I think for some people.
For me,
for some people,
that's how I am.
Yeah,
I like the physical. I like the connection. I like that chemistry.
Yeah, because for some people it will not. Yeah, for some people it will not. Because I think it depends on what level you put sex at. Because like for me personally, sex doesn't take that high of a level for me. So for me personally, like, I know I can get sex anywhere. So I don't
want
care.
it with the person that you're with, not just anywhere.
No, I know, but I know that no matter who I'm with, I'm going to have good sex because I'm going to make sure of it. So I'm not going to put up with anything. So I will not personally put up with anything. So that's not going to happen.
People stay a lot longer because of that physical connection. It's a strong, intense connection when you connect with a person in that way. And I mean, that just really is, I think, for a lot of people. Like, you'll have people who have, relationships.
So then why do people stay in relationships where the sex is no good?
They stay for other reasons. A ton of other reasons that go beyond sex. And a lot of times it may just be the longevity of the relationship, or the fact that you've invested so much time into the relationship. It may be finances, it may be children.
Because see, those things take a higher precedence for me.
And it's because of those things that you stay in a relationship that's disappointing sexually. That's what makes you stay.
Okay, so we're confusing right now.
We're confusing the audience?
Yeah, it's a very confusing. So can disappointing sex end a relationship?
Disappointing sex can end a relationship in the very beginning. I think so, yes.
Okay, so how soon into a relationship?
I don't know.
You just said not 3 months, not 6 months.
I don't know. It varies from person to person, I would think. I mean, I think that's more personal.
Okay, so what are some suggestions that we can give to the audience to
like, the biggest suggestion with anything is any relationship is communication. You have to communicate with your partner.
Okay, so how is a good way for people to communicate with? Because this is not an easy subject for people to communicate on. It's not an easy. You may think that it's easy to communicate on, but it's not.
You could just say, I don't know. Like, do you say, hey, I'm not feeling it, or whatever? I think that you have to take a person to the side and, say it compassionately, but you need to be honest. You need to let them know, and I mean, you need to say, hey, this is. So I wouldn't tell a person initially. I wouldn't say you're lousy in bed. I would not say that. I wouldn't say that you're unenjoyable. I wouldn't say any of those things. I would say, hey, let's try this. Okay. So let's do this. Tell me what you like. Tell me what your fantasies are. What can I do to please you? I would start there. I would have them open up to me to tell me what they like, and then hopefully they will reciprocate and say, hey, well, what do you like?
But what if they don't?
Then they're selfish.
Exactly. And that's the reason that a lot of sex is disappointing, because the other partner is so selfish. So instead of going that route, it would be a lot better if you say, this is what I like in the bedroom. Are you willing to do this? This is what I like.
Right.
This is what turns me on. This is what will make me get off. This is what.
See, I'm the type who I'm very straightforward. I'm very open, very honest, very direct. So I'm going to tell you all of those things. All of them. And hopefully.
Can you fix that, Nina?
Mm-hmm. Hopefully, you'll feel open enough with me to where you'd want to do the same. And like that one person said, yeah, you are responsible for your own orgasms, but then too, you're responsible as a couple. And you can only do so much as the other person is willing to give. Period.
So in the beginning, if sex is disappointing in a relationship and it's that important to you that it could end the relationship.
Okay, like, and the reason, okay, let me tell you where this question stemmed from. I had someone write in, and the question was, hey, I really like this guy that I'm seeing. I look forward to spending time with him. I'm always excited when he comes to visit. He's great in XYZ way. However, I'm not feeling the sex. The sex is never enjoyable.
Okay.
I'm always disappointed. What do I do? Do I stay? Do I leave? Do we pursue an open relationship? What? Because I'm not satisfied and sex is important to me.
Okay.
And I don't want to stray. So it was, what do we do?
So then what is your suggestion?
You talk to that person. Openly and honestly. That's all you can do.
And then
they have to, and if they are not willing to make any changes, if they aren't willing to try to meet you halfway, if they aren't willing to, make it more enjoyable, then you have to decide whether or not you want to spend any more time with that person.
Which is probably not.
Okay.
Which is probably not.
So,
because if you're with that person and you're already unhappy sexually,
yes,
then you're not, it's not going to get better.
No. So like I said, in the very beginning, disappointing sex can definitely,
yes, because it's only going to get worse. It's not going to get better.
And then, you have relationships where the sex starts out phenomenal. Always. And you hear this a lot with married couples. In the beginning, the sex was phenomenal. Then over the years, it starts to wane. It's not as great as it used to be anymore. Or that when they do have it, they have to schedule it. And it seems more like a chore or a job that they have to do versus that raw, intense emotion and that passion that they had for each other early on. And then the sex just becomes disappointing. It becomes stale. Yet you stay in that relationship because you're staying for other reasons. You have that emotional connection that you have. You share a life together. You share finances. You share children. You have everything else that you've built. And then, you have sex as a part of everything else that you have going on. So the everything else, those other things outweigh the sex. But it doesn't mean that it's not important or that it's no less disappointing. You just deal with it.
Yes. But it is an important part of a relationship.
Definitely.
So it is something that you do need to fix. And whether you go to counseling
or
whatever. It is something that you need to fix.
Sex is the glue that holds a relationship together.
Yes.
Because when you're with someone, you have the expectation that you're going to have sex, that you're going to have good sex, that you're going to have decent sex. And when you don't, it's just like a complicated friendship. You're sharing everything with this person. And sex is like the one thing that you're supposed to get within the marriage. When you agree to be married to a person, you agree to monogamy in some instances, depending upon the couple. But what you aren't agreeing to is celibacy.
Right. And it is something that you do need to continue to communicate, because it is not something that you give up on, because it is something that you should be doing.
Right. So I think long term, sex isn't make or break a relationship. Long term, for people who've already established other things. But I think at some point the sex was great, or it was average, or it was okay enough for them to want to progress to the stage that they are now. But I think had it started out disappointing or mediocre at best, then no, the relationship wouldn't have progressed, unless you just have two people who are very religious and they're going to wait until they're married to have sex. And then once that happens, you have a whole nother issue.
Yes, and they stayed in it regardless.
Right.
Yes. So, it all goes back to communication.
Yes.
But you have to find ways to communicate and find other ways to keep it interesting. There's other ways you can, like for me personally, you can do dress up.
Role play.
Yeah, role play. You can bring toys into the bedroom. You can, what are some other things?
It depends on the couple. You can role play, you can bring toys into the bedroom, you can watch certain types of entertainment together.
Yeah, see, that's not one for me, but
you can invite other people in.
Yeah, that's not an option for me.
Whatever floats your boat as a couple as long as it's been discussed ahead of time.
Yes.
Period. You talk about it.
Yeah, but you have to find something that spices it up, that you can do, that brings that back into it, because sex is an important part of a relationship, and you should be having it if you're married or you're in a seriously committed
unless you
long-term
are
relationship, you should be
physically incapable of performing or something like that, and you have thoroughly discussed it with your partner. I mean, that's one thing. If you cannot, but if you can and you're just unwilling, then yeah, it's an issue.
Yeah, it is. You heard it here, Lyfe Uncensored. We're telling you, have sex with your partner. Say, Sky and Sean said.
Have good sex with your partner.
Yes, fun.
Don't treat it like it's washing the dishes.
No, it's not a chore.
No. So yeah. So I don't know, Nina. Did we answer the question?
Yeah. Nina's like, enough. I don't want to talk about this anymore. You're tuned into Lyfe Uncensored. I'm Skylar Dawn.
I'm Sean Reeves.
And we do have, another topic real quick. Chivalry, is chivalry dead? We don't think so. Real quick, we only have like 4 minutes before our show is over. And for whatever reason, my Instagram is not working tonight. It's just not cooperating whatsoever. Contacting a guy. Do you feel like, I'm very, very old-fashioned,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like that a chivalrous man should never wait for a woman to contact him, or should never have the woman make the first move. A chivalrous man should always make the first move. Should always call the woman first, should always text the woman first, message her, ask her out.
Right.
Always make the first move. How do you feel about that?
I agree. Absolutely. Absolutely. He
Yes.
should be the one initiating contact. Once he initiates contact, of course, it's okay for you to respond to that contact. But he needs to be the initiator. He needs to pursue you. That's how I feel, as a woman. And I know there's a whole school of men out there nowadays who says, I don't mind if the woman contacts me first, or, please contact me first. I think a lot of times that has to do with a security type thing. And men being fearful, and men being afraid of rejection. And I know as a guy...
That's not sexy.
No, but as a guy, I know it's hard for you to put yourself out there to, approach a woman and say, hey, I'd like to get to know you. Because no one likes rejection. No one likes it at all. Rejection is painful. But I feel like, as a woman, it's not something that, that I want to do. I don't want to have to approach the guy at all. He needs to take the initiative. If he's interested in me, he needs to let me know.
Yes.
If he wants to go out with me, he needs to let me know. He doesn't have to take the initiative on everything in life once we are, a couple, but he needs to initially initiate.
Yes. No,
Is that a tongue twister? Initially initiate. Y'all know what I mean.
Yes. No, but it's not sexy. It's not attractive for a man to be insecure or
timid.
No. It's a man should be manly and assertive, and not like, don't kidnap me and put me in your basement or anything. But he should do the
initial. And it doesn't even have to be like asking you out initially. Just initiate a conversation. Hi, hello. The creepiest thing to do is like when we're out together, and guys do this a lot, is that they stare. Don't do that. It is weird and it's creepy, and we can feel your eyes on us, and it makes our skin crawl, and we feel uncomfortable.
Speak.
Say hello.
Yeah, just speak.
Say hello. And the normal reaction is that when you say hello, we say hello.
We say hello back.
Okay. So yeah, men should initiate.
We don't always bite.
No. So yeah.
Not always.
No.
So you are tuned into Lyfe Uncensored. I'm Skylar Dawn.
I'm Sean Reeves.
And our time is up. We will see you next Tuesday night at 7 p.m. You can tune in here, wherever you are right now watching us, or always go to my YouTube at Skylar Dawn. So it's youtube.com/Skylar Dawn. Hit that subscribe button. I need more subscribers. I'm going to be putting up more videos, more fun stuff for you guys. Lots more content to come. And I will see you next Tuesday night, 7 p.m. And
that's it. I can't wait to see you guys next week.
see you next week, guys. Thanks for tuning in. All the love and support.
Good night.
Love you guys.